Court is calling 2025 CR 0085569 and 2025 CR 0082203. State versus Robert Louis Moreno II. Are you Mr. Moreno?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
All right.
man, that's a long time.
Objection, sir, to appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
All right. According to your plea bargain agreement and cause number 2025 CR 0085569, punishment is being assessed at a cap of 13 years. And cause number 2025 CR 0082203, punishment is being assessed at a cap of 13 years. And each cause number, the state is opposed to your application. All right. Have both parties waived the PSI and the TAP evaluation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We were present about a week ago, I believe. I can't remember the exact date.
That's my
That's what we did.
All right. State, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, do you have any
I
witnesses?
do, Your Honor. May I call my first witness?
Yes.
Mom, could you come up? Followed by Joanna, I guess. It's okay. Don't hurry. Right in this spot here.
I see that you're limping. Do you need a seat?
No, it's just something I live with.
All right. State your name for the record.
My name is Joanne Esparza.
All right. You may proceed.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I mixed up the names
That's
again. Now, you're Robert Moreno's mother, is that correct?
That's correct.
And of course, I want you to make sure the judge can hear. I know he's.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so
correct.
voice.
Robert Moreno's
Now,
mother.
Robert has been in court and he's been here present in person before in the courtroom in a wheelchair. Can you tell the judge what his medical condition is?
Robert was born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus. He's been paralyzed since birth. He's had a VP shunt he had reconstruction on the spine but stayed paralyzed. He's had a VP shunt in his head at 3 months, a replacement at 9 months and 9 years. And the doctor stated that there would be like maybe 3 replacements throughout his lifetime. Robert has always been a sickly person, sickly child, in and out of hospitals, surgeries, doctors. The last one was the worst one. He's had tailbone surgery from not being in a proper wheelchair, which we had to fight to get. And I've always been his caretaker. I've always taken care of him, nursed him back to health. And the last one was the gas gangrene. He's got incontinence problems, which he takes medication for, but he still has some leakage problems and has problems with his bowels. With the leakage, I guess it broke his skin and he winded up getting gas gangrene. They did a flap surgery in his groin area and abdomen. And while he was here in jail, it reopened. And that's something that we always have to look out for, like a tissue breakdown. He has problems with his bowels as well. Like I said, I've always been his caretaker, along with my sister being my right hand, you could say, his second mother. And I just want to let y'all know, I plead for mercy that if in any case he'd be able to be on probation, he reside in a home where there is no children, no internet, no use of a phone. He'd be under supervision at all times. I work in the morning, my sister works at night. We don't know how something like this could have occurred. We didn't see it coming, and it came as a shock to us. We only knew the very minimum, and we would like to get him help with counseling to resolve this problem. But he's always going to have health issues. He's always had health issues, and how he's done it by so far, I don't even know, because I've always had to even help him bathe, cut his toenails, and look out for pressure sores. I've always been the one.
What kind of work do you do right now?
I work in fast food.
Okay. Judge, I have tendered to the state medical information. I'd just like to be able to have it in the hands of the court to more or less verify. It's recent. That's what I was asking. I didn't want to get piles and piles of information. We have a lot that goes back a long way. I wanted you to at least know that his condition is not temporary. In other words, it's not something that somebody has come into court and said, well, Judge, I need to be on probation, and then they more or less get up out of the wheelchair once they get what they've asked for. This obviously, based on the medical stuff that I have, this is, like I said, it's been provided to Mr. Wright, not Mr. Stout, but it's in their file. Verification of the spina bifida which, as you know, is the a child born with the spine outside the body.
Mhm.
And it's not something that's, going to go away. So his mobility is, of course, limited. And of course, I can't absolutely, and I've gone over this at length with his mother and the next lady that would ask you for your attention. How did this happen? And again, told them that what court would expect to know is that this could never happen again. So I think we've at least closed off one avenue for purposes of any question of being a sexual predator. If he doesn't have the ability to go out and go to places, schoolyards or out in the park or anywhere like that. So the next question, of course, in my mind for a judge, that I would want the judge to know, and I know always consider, first thing we think of is, well, if it happened before, it can happen again. I've tried to make sure that she understands, and she seems competent as far as her insight and explanations and knowing that cannot be explained away, but it has to be stopped. And because it is something that might continue, we want to make sure that any communication that would enable him to do anything like this would be cut off. And she is here to tell you about that and to try to promise you that. The only thing that I can't stand up here and make sure that you know about is we're not really sure what to do with regard to some type of 24/7, because as you've heard, you do continue to work, correct?
I work in the morning and my sister works in the evening.
Okay. Would there be any time?
That he would be alone now.
Yeah. Okay. So the judge can be assured that someone will be there to not only take care of him, but to prevent him from being on the internet or having phone contact.
We have no internet to begin with, and he wouldn't have any access to any telephone.
Okay.
Because he would always be under supervision, so we'd always.
So before, when there was a need maybe for a telephone, I'm just guessing here. If someone's in a wheelchair, let's say a fire breaks out, things could come up where they would need to contact 911, for example.
Correct, but he'd always be supervised.
Okay, so there wouldn't be a need for that anymore because he would never be left alone. That's the assurance you're giving the court?
Yes.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Sean.
Any questions?
Yes, ma'am. I'm the prosecutor in the case, Mr. Scott. Just a few questions. You were Mr. Moreno's mother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And back when this incident occurred, he was around 19 years old. Are you aware of that?
No.
What is your understanding?
I understand it was several years ago, 2018, 19, 20, about that time. And as far as I knew, I thought it was just contact like on the phone, like they were talking and stuff like that. So when the attorney spoke to me about everything, it came as quite a shock I didn't have.
So at that time, was he residing with you primarily?
Yes, he's always resided with me.
What was he doing at that time? Was he working, going to school?
Going to school.
And how are you related to the victim in this case?
She is my niece.
And you understand that she was 9 years old when this happened?
I don't remember what her age was. They had told me that she was, I think, 13, is what I had heard.
I'll pass the witness.
Well, just to make sure you're completely
Yes, but I
aware.
understand what was written.
Okay,
Yeah.
you understand, you and I have carried on
Yes.
many conversations about the discovery, meaning
Yes.
the DA's
Yes,
file.
everything that's come out.
Okay, so
Correct.
you're basing your information now on
On what I,
what you discovered and how to prevent it from
Yes, sir.
happening again, correct?
correct.
Thank you. May I call my next witness, Sean?
May I
Oh,
ask
yes, Judge, I'm
any
sorry.
objection?
No, you're not.
All right, so
Oh, miss.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
no. I want you to understand something. One,
Yes, ma'am.
you keep it in an open mind and I'm listening to everything. But sometimes when people are called as witnesses, they're asked, oh, how can you make sure that this person follows the rules? That's really not your job. It's the person who is on probation of all of the rules. And so according to the stipulation that I've read, this started when she was 7. And then the photos that are in the stipulations is that they're saying they're photos that depicted young children and infants. Now, with regards to the infants, I don't know if that was pornography or sexual in nature, but that's what it says in the stipulations. And that's when they said they were making inquiries as to what was the age range for his sexual interests. So I just want you to understand that I'm listening to you, but I'm also, I've also reviewed the stipulations as well. So none of this is your fault. And your testimony gave me great insight to his medical issues, okay?
If I may add one more thing, Judge.
Sure.
I've had no contact with my niece nor her family since all this first came out.
Mhm.
But I still love her, I still care for her, and I do hope that she is getting some kind of counsel for it, because
Because in the
I know
stipulations,
how drastic it is.
yeah, because in the
I-
stipulations too, it says that he continued to reach out to her. And then there was some blocking going on. So I
That's
just
what I
want you to understand the full extent of things and everything that I'm considering, okay?
Yes,
But thank you so much for your testimony. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
thank you. God bless you.
Oh, thank you. God bless you too. Call your next witness.
Where are you? Yeah, thank you.
Hello, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Judge.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Rosemary Esparza.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
How do you know Robert Moreno and his mother?
He is my nephew and she is my sister.
Okay. Now, I don't think you could hear from back there, but we were talking about things that I've talked to y'all about, both of you about previously, about how can we give some type of reassurance to the judge with regard to controlling this contact and with anyone. You understand what I'm talking about, member?
Yes.
We discussed it more than once, last time in the witness room a few weeks ago. She was talking about, his mother was talking about monitoring, and we realized that it's something that would require more or less 24 hours supervision. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Can you talk to the judge a little bit about your ability to be a part of that? And maybe what your hours could be, what you've talked about with your sister, about what needs to be done to make sure this doesn't ever happen again with anyone.
Judge, basically, she clarified everything. I know we're not above the law, no one is, but I do pray for my nephew and my niece.
Do you, excuse me for interrupting, do you work?
Yes, I work at night
Okay,
and my sister works in the day.
okay, so
We,
I'm sorry, just to take it from that point. We were talking about a 24-hour day situation.
yes.
Do y'all live together?
No, but during the time before Robert Lewis got arrested, he was staying with me. He
Okay,
was living with me. My sister would come and stay with us. And we've talked about it. If it came down to it, that I would be willing to open my home to them.
okay. So are there any children in your home?
No,
Okay,
there's no children, no internet.
so it would be the three of y'all, Robert, your sister and you, or do you have a husband, or how does that work?
And my father,
Your father, okay. So you work at night. What kind of work do you do?
I'm a housekeeper,
Okay.
hospital,
At where would that?
Santa Rosa,
Where?
Santa Rosa,
The Santa Rosa Hospital? Okay, thank you. How long have you been doing that?
9 years.
9 years. So that's from what time roughly in the evening do you start and when do you get off?
I start at 3 and I finish by 11:30.
Okay, so 3 p.m. and that's in the afternoon,
Yes,
11:30 p.m. at night, right
Yeah.
before midnight?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you could come back home after that and monitor Robert and make sure, like you said, there's no internet and he has no phone. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay. So he would be cared for, and his medical condition is something that you have probably been aware of for his whole life too, correct?
Yes, correct.
What would that be? What is his medical condition? Do you understand it?
Yes, I understand it. He has spinal bifida.
And that is something that he was born with, or did it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so his whole life he's been in the
Wheelchair bound.
condition that he's in now, except he's had different medical issues come up, I believe
Correct.
too, right?
He's always getting sick.
Okay.
My sister's always in the hospital with him.
Okay. So I'm not going to ask a lot more. I'm just trying to make sure that the judge knows it's the picture that, what is visualized here, which sounds like the assurance that she's got that he's not going to be in a position, even if he wanted to do this again. And do you know, one more thing, do you know the niece that we're talking about here?
Yes, I do.
How do you know her very well, or?
Very, very well.
Okay.
I practically raised her.
Okay. And you know about the facts of this case, and you were surprised as well, I believe,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as Robert goes forward, we hear about things like bed sores or whatever. You sound like you might be familiar with that if you work at Santa Rosa, right?
Yes.
And you've been involved in, as a housekeeper, are you involved in helping people in a nursing situation, or just what is the extent of your duties at Santa Rosa, just briefly?
No, so it's just securing, the safety for
Okay.
patients and.
Okay. Do you deal with patients at all?
No,
Okay. But you're totally willing to help
yes.
in any way with Robert's medical conditions, no matter what they may be, even if it's,
Correct. I've helped out taking care of Robert.
Okay. Thank you. The judge may have some questions for you.
Any questions?
Nothing from the state.
All right, thank you so
That's all
much
we
for
have.
coming down.
Thank you.
So I want to let you know, I've heard everything that you've said, I've internalized it, and I'm considering everything. And in reading stipulation, even though he has these medical conditions, you're aware that according to the stipulation, he did engage in physical contact with her. And according to this, he also, according to the stipulations, he threatened to go after her younger cousin if she didn't send him photos and if she didn't do other things. You're aware of that? Okay, all right. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Yeah. Any other witnesses?
May I ask Mr. Moreno to
Okay,
explain briefly?
all right. If you can unmute yourself, please.
My name is Robert Moreno.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you. Robert, you've been listening to your mother here today, and how do you feel about, you've admitted that you, by entering a plea, even though it may be no contest, you've admitted that you've done these things.
Correct.
Do you feel like that you did something wrong that you shouldn't do again? Can you hear me?
I do. I'm deeply ashamed. I can promise I won't do anything like this again.
Do you have?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little.
Okay, well, Robert, with regard to being on probation, is there anything you'd like to say to the judge before she makes her decision about why you should have a chance to be on probation? Will this ever happen again? Are you sorry? Tell her what you think about everything that's going on here in your life with regard to this offense.
Right. Well, as I said, I am deeply ashamed of my actions. I was young. I was very dumb. I made mistakes, and like I said, I'm ashamed of my actions. I feel for my family as well. As they said, this came to a shock to them, and I apologize to them, for putting them in this position. I want to thank my family for standing by me through this situation as well. As for your consideration for probation, I appreciate you taking into consideration everything, Judge. As my family said, they would set up a scenario where I would be under their supervision practically 24 hours a day, no internet, no phone, no way of contacting
Robert,
the victim or anyone that could be a victim. Yes, sir.
Robert, with regard to your medical condition, kind of on a timeline going forward and using the past as a reference point, are you receiving the kind of care in the jail that you had received before you were put in jail?
Not to the extent that I was previously to jail, no.
What, without getting into details.
I have been receiving care, but it hasn't been.
Pardon?
Oh, if you could repeat that last answer, sir?
Well, let me ask it again. Are you receiving the kind of daily care or whatever is required that you were receiving outside? Are you getting the same kind of care and attention as you were in jail with regard to your medical needs?
Not to the extent that I was before being arrested.
What, on a weekly basis, just a kind of an overview. Do you need something done every day with regard to you being assisted in your wheelchair since you're paralyzed?
Yes.
Is that
Um,
happening? I'm sorry.
I use stuff,
I understand. It's okay to talk. We need to know.
catheters. I use them daily, in and out catheters.
Okay.
I also, and sometimes those, the nurse will skip a day, won't be able to supply them for that day, or I'll ask and they'll get busy. So usually I won't, every once in a while, I won't get what the materials that I need in order to make sure that I can remain healthy.
Is it harder in jail? Just taking away the fact that you're in jail, is the medical attention, is it less than you received on the outside, even though they try to keep up with what's your needs are?
Yes, I understand that they have other inmates and other patients that they have to tend to, so the amount of care that I receive personally is not to the extent that I received before jail.
Okay, I know you're getting medication. I've checked on that, correct?
Yes,
I'm talking about other types of things such as cleaning and the like, medical
But,
attention.
yeah,
That's
yes,
good or bad?
it's not to the extent that I wish it would be, the way that it was before.
Not the same as with your mother and your aunt.
Correct. My family was much more thorough, and they would be able to be more thorough and keep my health in
Okay.
tip-top shape.
Thank
Whereas
you.
here, I would just like to mention that I've had several breakdowns, not just the one that my mother knows about. So I've been receiving wound care here and there throughout the 8 months that I've been here.
Do you require outside care that you have or have not received?
Yes, I have well, like I said, my mother said, I have the VP shunt in my head. If that were to break down or if that were to be damaged, I would need surgery for that. On top of that, any wound care, we would have nurses that would come and supply the medical equipment and show my mother how to dress a
Okay.
wound.
Now, the BP, what is it? Just real quickly, what does that mean?
So it's from the hydrocephalus. I don't know what the acronym for VP stands for, but basically it's a catheter that goes from the brain down into my stomach, and it allows the fluid to flow properly. Without it,
Okay.
my head would swell up and cause headaches and eventually death.
Okay, so this has to do with fluid from the brain that has to be removed or what?
It has to flow throughout the body, otherwise it would swell in the brain.
Okay, otherwise the brain swells.
Yes,
And you've had that at least once in your life already, right? Done
I believe I've had 2 replacements so far.
2?
I believe so.
Okay, it's called a stent, right?
I believe so.
Okay, do they drain it at the jail or how does it, a stent usually means something is inserted or drained?
So it doesn't need to be drained. What it does is it flows through in and out. And as long as it isn't damaged and there's no leakage, then there's no need to drain it.
Okay,
But if there was damage to the shunt, then drainage would be necessary. And then
Okay.
surgery as well.
Robert, there's a gentleman standing over to the, on your screen. He's from the DA's office. He's not Mr. Wright, who you've met, but he might
Right.
want to ask you some questions on behalf of the DA's office, okay?
Okay.
All right, so answer his questions appropriately. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I've never had a.
Mr. Moreno, before your arrest, where were you receiving most of your medical care?
Mr. Moreno?
Can you hear me?
I apologize.
All
you
right,
were
Mr.
breaking up, sir.
Moreno, the question from the state was, before you were arrested, where were you receiving your medical care?
I was my primary care physician is Dr. Federico Praduo. I was receiving care from his office as well as partially through wound care center. Whenever I had a breakdown, they would help us out with that.
And what hospital were you going to for treatment when you needed it?
And for the hospitals, I was going to Baptist Hospital.
Okay. And you understand that in the jail, you have a right to the medical care for any
Yes.
issues. Just going to the facts of this case, I know you stipulated the evidence in the case, and that evidence alleges that you touched your cousin when she was very young, correct?
Right.
On multiple occasions, correct?
I don't recall
More than one occasion?
multiple occasions, but if that's what it says, then
You would have the best,
I don't
you have
remember.
to be the best person to know that information, correct?
Correct.
And how old was your cousin when this occurred?
From my understanding, she was on the age of 13, but the stipulations state otherwise, so.
So you disagree with that aspect of the stipulations?
Correct.
Okay, and how old were you at the time?
Roughly 22.
And then you've also
Within that
stipulated
range.
that you engaged with her online, correct? And how
How
old was she when that occurred?
To my understanding, around the age of 13 as well.
So it was around the same time?
Yes,
Okay. And your position is that you did not send any photographs to her, but that she sent photographs to you. Is that my understanding?
correct.
And why would
Yes,
she
that
do
is
that?
correct.
Why would she do that?
I basically convinced her to do so. She, I guess, felt like it was necessary. Otherwise, she might get in trouble, or I'd tell someone. I'm not soo sure.
Okay, so you're the one that made her do that.
Yes.
And did you threaten her as the stipulations?
No, I didn't threaten her.
Okay, so that would be, if she said that, she would not be telling the truth.
Correct.
And guess what?
Do you realize the emotional harm and trauma that you've inflicted on this young woman?
I do.
And do you have any children, Mr. Moreno?
No, I do not.
If you did have a daughter and this happened to her, would you think that probation would be appropriate for someone that had done that to her at that age?
All right, thank you, Mr. Moreno. All right, any other witnesses for either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, in cause number 2025 CR 008203, the court will find you guilty, sentence you to 13 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This is run concurrent with 2025 CR 008569. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance. There's to be no contact with minors, no residing in household with minors, and no contact with the complainant. And cause number 2025 CR 008569, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 13 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's $1,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2025 CR 008203. There's to be Chapter 62 compliance, no contact with the complainant, no residing in household with minors, no contact with minors. We can go off the record. So I want you to know, Mr. Moreno, your attorney did a great job for you. I did take into consideration that you have. That is the reason why I didn't ask either party why I should accept your plea bargaining agreement. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As the best in Judge Boy content on YouTube anywhere. She does criminal history, backgrounds of context.